Good morning everyone. In today's video we will talk about rise and fall of globalization. As we all know that globalization envisages a borderless world or seeks the world as a global village. It may be attributed by accelerated flow of goods, people, capital, information, energy across borders, often enabled by technological development. However, isolation forced by COVID-19 pandemic have actually paused the growth of globalization in the world. Through the pandemic, though the pandemic have hastened globalization decline, protectionism have been increasing since the global financial crisis of 2008. The increased unemployment, growing inequality, in the aftermath of global financial crisis, particularly in developed world, are the reason of rise of protectionism all across the globe. In this context, there are debate all around the world regarding the sustainability of globalization in the future. So let's start with the rise of globalization. Origin of modern globalization. What today is referred to as globalization started with the end of Cold War and disintegration of Soviet Union in 1991. जो ग्लोबलाइजेशन है कब स्टार्ट हुआ? ये स्टार्ट हुआ कोल्ड वॉर के एंड में और जब सोवियत यूनियन का डिसइंटीग्रेशन हुआ 1991 में. ड्राइविंग फैक्टर क्या था? ग्लोबलाइजेशन वॉज ऑफशोर ऑफ टू सिस्टम, डेमोक्रेसी एंड कैपिटलिज्म, that emerged victorious at the end of Cold War. These ideas were transmitted across the world through the free trade and increased inter-country movement of capital and labor. The idea that all countries should unequivocally move towards democracy under pipe with capitalism was packed in policies commonly referred to as Washington Consensus or neoliberalism. Washington Consensus and neoliberalism. Politics of globalization. Politically, it refers to increasing global governance by international institutions or growing alignment of national policies. It involves both benefits and costs. Benefits such as coordinated crisis strategies and costs such as less national self-determination. A liberal democracy combined with free market capitalism was the best way to organize society. Next is developing developed country collaboration. The partnership between developed and developing countries based on three prongs. The first was offshoring of manufacturing and low-end services job to developing countries. Second is developed countries run large trade deficit by acting as market for increased output of developing countries. And the third is developing countries financing the trade deficit of developed countries by accumulating large foreign exchange reserves. If we talk about the pros of globalization, the globalization has resulted in increased trade and standard of living. It heightens competition within the domestic product, capital market, labor market, as well as among countries adopting different trade and investment strategy. It has also resulted in national capital market becoming increasingly integrated. It has also acted as a vehicle of social justice. Transnational companies investing in installing plants in other countries provide employment for people in those countries, often getting them out of poverty. Globalization has also increases cultural awareness by reducing cross-border distance. A neutral globalized society boosts up the rate at which people are exposed to the culture, attitude, and value of people in other countries. Sharing technology and values. The globalization has also provided poor countries through infusion of foreign capital and technology, which with the chance to develop economically and by spreading prosperity. So these were the pros of globalization. Now let's talk about the decline of globalization. As we all know that global financial crisis was a turning point as it stuck at twin foundation of liberal democracy and free market capitalism. Suppression of liberal democracy, the menace of slow economic growth, wealth inequality, and rising unemployment provided a perfect breeding ground for political leaders to appeal for nationalism as the solution of political and economic illness. The economic rise of China under an authoritarian regime also raised doubts about the efficacy of liberal democracy in solving pressing domestic challenges. The economic rise of China under the authoritarian regime also raised doubts over the efficacy of liberal democracy in solving pressing domestic challenges. Prills of neoliberal doctrine. While the free market ideology have been fighting a battle of credibility since it took the maximum blame for 2008 crisis, the free trade policies have now been severely impacted due to COVID-19. The pandemic have not only exposed the fragility of highly optimized supply chain that spread across the country, but has also shown such inter-country supply chain to be threatened to national security. If we talk about the cons of globalization, the first con has to be increasing inequality. The general complaint about globalization is that it has made the rich richer while keeping the poor poorer. The UN Development Program report that the richest 20% of world's population consume 86% of world's resources, while the rest 80% consume just 14%. So the richest 20% of population consume 86% of world's resources, while 80% consume just 14%. Next is malpractices of MNCs. The MNCs are accused of social injustice, unfair working condition, as well as lack of concern for the environment, mismanagement of natural resources, and ecological damage. Also, multinational corporations which were previously restricted to commercial activities are increasingly influencing political decisions. The next con has to be that the fail to contribute towards desired gains. The argument that globalization have helped people in developing most of the countries out of poverty is somehow controversial, because the opinion differ as to the quantity and quality of job being offered by globalization. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching.